Chapter 2. Fancy That. The story of how I got my name is a family favourite. Well, at least it's my father's favourite. Each member of the family has a slightly different reaction to it. Dad just loves to tell it. Mom just loves to hear it. Prue just loves to watch me squirm when it's told. And me, I just squirm. I've heard the how Ishmael got the name Ishmael story so many times I feel as that I was there myself. And of course, in a way I was. It's just that most of the time I was floating like a chubby alien in a sea of amniotic fluid, blissfully unaware that there were people outside the cozy warmth of my mother's womb who were about to change my life forever. Now it's a known fact that no one and nothing can stop my father telling the how Ishmael got the name Ishmael story when he's made up his mind. And it doesn't matter if the intended audience has heard it all before or not. Oh no. I could begin to count the number of times I've heard something like the following exchange. Dad, did I ever tell you the story of how Ishmael got his name? The victim. Yes, I think you did. Wasn't your wife in hospital and she was overdue? Dad. That's right. She was way overdue and I'll never forget it. It's such a great story. I came to visit her after work. Victim. Yes, I remember you told me. A great story how your wife was feeling a bit upset. And she said she felt like a... Upset, I'll say. You should have been there. When I came to visit her after work, she'd been crying. Victim. Yeah. And she said she was so big she felt like a... Dad. She was huge. And you know it was our first baby and being overdue, she was tired and worried, so it was pretty hard for her. Anyway, as I was saying, when I came to visit after work, Around about that point, Dad's victims usually realize that resistance is useless. Their faces become set with a weak smile that from time to time is accompanied by a shake of the head and a raising of the eyebrows to signal that they are suitably amazed and impressed in the appropriate places. Rarely do they attempt to interrupt, and then it's only to offer such morsels as, really, fancy that, or you don't say. Meanwhile, Dad rumbles on like a runaway semi-trailer that can't be stopped until it has found its final resting place in some unsuspecting lounge room. My dad might appear harmless enough, but the Ishmael tale is always there, lurking just below the surface of every conversation, like some massive crocodile with only its eyes breaking the water, poised and ready to strike. And all it takes is for some unsuspecting victim to step too close to the water's edge. Ishmael, that's an interesting name. And they're gone. Any thought of rescue is pointless. My father would have already exploded from the shallow water of idle chit-chat, seized his bewildered play, and dragged it thrashing into the shadowy depths of his memories. This leads me to another one of my theories. Theory 2. The carrier of Ishmael syndrome can trigger disturbing behavior in others. At first I thought this phenomenon was isolated to my father, but that was before I encountered Barry Bagsley. I realized then that my father's symptoms were actually mild, and that the name Ishmael could bring out the very worst in people. Barry Bagsley, however, will have to wait. It's time for a family favourite. Did I ever tell you the story of how I got my name?